On its exploratory tour of the planet Mars, the robot rover Curiosity finds itself in an intriguing area that NASA has called Alligators on Mars. We give you a cordial welcome to this new documentary. If it is the first time, I introduce myself. I am the engineer Hiddekel Morrison, and I appreciate you decide to see this educational content. We will discover, thanks to technology, the details, characteristics and intricacies of the place where NASA's Curiosity rover is currently. Visualizing impressive panoramic views. From an engineer's perspective. Let's start. This is Curiosity, the oldest active explorer robot of the United States Space Agency, NASA, which has been on the Martian surface for about 10 years, where on March 18, 2022, it recorded with its camera an unexpected terrain loaded with a type of sharp rocks that had never been seen on the red planet. Prior to this find, the Curiosity rover was on a gentle slope capped by debris sandstone. The rover briefly summited the north face of this feature 2 years ago. Now on the south side of the pediment, the Curiosity rover has sailed back to the pediment to explore it further. In advancing the study of this area, it has run into a difficult region that the rover's engineers have decided to avoid to reduce tire wear. For this they have applied a traction control algorithm, to reduce the frequency with which they need to evaluate the wheels. And they also plan routes that avoid driving over such rocks that NASA has named alligators. Let's see why this area belongs to alligators on Mars and what NASA has planned to prevent the wheels of the Curiosity rover from tearing, since they are already quite deteriorated after 10 years of wheeling. But first, I ask you to support us by liking this video, sharing this video with your contacts, and subscribing to this channel, turning on notifications, so with your support, we can continue to frequently generate interesting documentaries on aerospace technology and the universe. Thank you for contributing to the creation of educational content. These peculiar rocks sharpened by the wind were captured by the camera of the rover Curiosity on March 15, 2022. This region recently discovered by NASA on the planet Mars according to the NASA science team looks like an alligator region, which is why it has been called Gator Back, Alligator Back, due to the scaly appearance of those sharp rocks by the wind. Although the mission had explored the area using orbital images from the satellite they have on Mars, it was necessary to see these rocks up close, which allowed this type of rock to be identified as ventifacts, which are rocks that have been worn down, crushed, etched, grooved, or polished by wind-driven sand. Ventifacts can be worn down to striking natural sculptures. On moderately high, isolated rock outcrops, mushroom columns of rock may form when the outcrop is eroded by saltation of sand grains. This is because, even in strong winds, the sand grains cannot be held in the air continuously and the particles bounce off the ground, rarely reaching more than a few feet above the ground. Over time, rebounding sand grains can erode lower parts of a ventifact, while a larger, harder cap moderates erosion in certain parts. The results can be fantastic rock mushrooms. Since seeing the images, the Curiosity rover team determined that it would not be good for the rover's wheels to cross that route, stating that it would be slow and they would not be able to implement the rover's best driving practices, noting that the rock-shaped rocks came and are not impassable. They simply would not be worth crossing, considering how difficult the road would be and how much they could wear down and even break the rover's wheels. To avoid patches of sharp rock, the mission has taken an alternate path up Mount Sharp. Curiosity will descend from the pediment to a place it had previously been exploring, a transition zone between an area rich in clay and one with higher amounts of salt minerals, called sulfates. Clay minerals formed when the mountain was wetter, dotted with streams and ponds. The salts may have formed as Mars' climate dried out over time. The NASA team said it was really cool to see rocks they preserved from a time when lakes on Mars were drying up and being replaced by streams and dry sand dunes, noting that they are very curious to see what they will find as they continue climbing on this alternate route. From a distance, through images from the Curiosity rover, you can see car-sized rocks that were transported from the higher levels of that region on Mars that has been called Mount Sharp, perhaps by water. Relatively late in the wet era of Mars, Curiosity's wheels will be on safer ground as it leaves the alligator terrain behind. But engineers are focused on other signs of wear on the rover's robotic arm, which carries its drill. The braking mechanisms at two of the arm's joints stopped working last year. However, each joint has redundant parts to ensure the arm can continue drilling rock samples. The team is studying the best ways to use the arm to ensure these redundant parts keep working for as long as possible. What do you think of the contributions that Curiosity continues to provide during almost 10 years of continuous exploration? I will read your opinions in the comments of this video. As usual, we appreciate you informing us. It is a real pleasure to be able to provide you with the main news, trends and developments about the most important aspects of aerospace technology and the universe, from the perspective of an engineer. I am the engineer Hiddekel Morrison, and I invite you to meet again in a future installment.